What's good, people? Based.
Hey, Tom,
What's good?
what are you doing in there being so loud, man? You've been doing this for like 2 hours. And you better cut that out before I take that PC. And you better not be blowing your wires in there, because I'll come in there right now.
Today's rant really is just against the generational differences we got with our parents, man. And the reason I'm saying this is because I've had a lot of conversations with people older than me and younger than me, and it seems like, what are we, Gen Z? Like, Gen Z is just different. We're just cooked up different because we grew up in a very, very, very interesting era that is called the internet. The era is so interesting, in fact, that if it didn't exist, I wouldn't be making this video right now. This would not be a thing. And do you think our parents back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s had something like this? Like, the best our parents had back then was mainly just like different strokes and living color and like Martin, bruh. Because like now, if I really wanted to find something and get an answer to it now, I could find that shit in a heartbeat with no question. Like, have we ever thought about how crazy that is to begin with? You could be on a rabbit hole looking for how to rebuild garage doors and end up looking at furry somehow. That is the power of the internet, man. But when you think about how we are literate in the internet, you have to think about our parents and how they just aren't. Like, I got family members who have just realized how YouTube works, and I mean, they still come to me for it, man. Like, we already have Google. That's a search engine everybody knows about. YouTube is damn near the video version of that, is it not? If you want to find something on YouTube, all you really got to do is just type it in the search bar, whatever you want, and something related is going to pop up, bro. It can't be that hard. It's just not that difficult. But then I really started to think about this, right? I don't know what technological advancements we gonna have by the time we're 30 and 40, but like, imagine what the internet might look like, and imagine that we gonna look like our parents that don't fucking understand it. And now I'm gonna be real honest with you. I'm not gonna be that parent. I'm gonna know what's going on. My kids are not gonna catch one on me. I refuse to have like some PS7 with VR technology and I don't understand it. I'm gonna be on it. Fuck it. But realizing that, we know that technology is advancing damn near exponentially at this point. So what are we gonna do? Are we gonna fall behind when we become parents? Or because we already knew what the internet looked like and grew up with it, we gonna know the pathways to make sure we don't look like our parents right now? On to another topic of like the different generation compared to us, right? Emotions. In this one, I'm telling y'all, I am going to always plug my psych degree, right? The difference in how we know emotions are way and miles different from our parents. Now, don't get me wrong, other parents in other generations, they definitely know if they've done the studies and they've seen the human behavior and psychology of it all. But more often than not, the common parent does not even really know what the definition of depression is. They don't even know what OCD is. The best definition they got was from fucking Facebook. But like us, we've had the internet, we've had similar peers virtually tell us what these are, to where the point we've been socialized to be more in tune with certain things that our parents didn't really have the time to. So I was having a conversation with my dad about mental health issues and mental health around the country, and do you know what his response was? You know what? I'm not gonna give you the answer. I'm just gonna have you guess this. Was it A, completely accept and understand and listen to everything I said, or B, completely deny and ask, why do people feel like this? I'm gonna give you some time. You got two answers. It's a 50-50 shot. You should be able to get it, right? If you guessed B, then you are 100% correct. And now, I will be honest, that's not really on him because, as I said before, I don't think parents back then, or just the generation before us, or two generations, had the time to really sit down and be like, man, these emotions be emotionate, don't they? Mainly because they've had to socialize, try to make a life for themselves, and just overall adulthood has changed since then. And this isn't me trying to, make excuses for certain people that just don't hit those life milestones, but what I am saying is that we've had to grow up much slower than our parents had. Well, at least comparing it for my family, like my mom and my dad were adults at 18 years old. Now, me at 18, I was still a child. I am still a child at 22. I don't know Nathan, man. And because of that, we have this weird just gap of what maturity is to not only the older generation, but the newer generations. And that's why you'll hear a bunch of old heads say like, oh, they need to grow up and they're immature. The whole time, the prefrontal cortex, you know, the thing right beneath the skull, this thing that does all your high complex thinking, this isn't even developed until 25. So the generations behind us were socialized to the fact that they need to be adults way before their brains were even equipped to being an adult yet. And so you're gonna have specific situations of like my mom and dad not being able to understand emotions because they've never had the time and nobody's ever sat down to, you know, talk to them about that. And that's, in all honesty, one of the biggest generational differences, because I see a lot of discourse on Twitter and shit basically stating of how parents don't understand their kids. This is one of the biggest reasons behind that, is because like if you don't truly understand what anxiety is or depression is and your son or daughter has it, what are you going to do as a parent? Your first default response is like, oh, I fucked up as a parent. I cannot have this. I'm not gonna sit here and be called a failure. Whole time, the parent that's denying that their kid has anxiety and depression probably has anxiety and depression. Yeah, man, that's crazy to think about, like how different we are as a society, but like how we're all expected to be held by the same standard. Also, one of my favorite things to have a conversation about is like music, right? Every parent, especially in the older generations, love to dog on modern rap, man. And like they all call it mumble rap, which easily tells me that they're not listening to these songs. They just hear the beat and like, I ain't listening to that shit. I remember it was like back in the day, I had to be like 12 or 13 and me and my cousins were playing Don't Like by Chief Keef. I shit you not. My mama came out the crib and said, hey, turn that off, cause that's that shit I don't like. And if you got black parents, you know exactly what she did. That was, man, we let her get that off, bro. And getting back to it, all parents kind of think that modern rap is a situation of like, oh, they just mumble and they just have loud beats, it's annoying. But they haven't really taken the time to fully dissect what modern rap is now. Okay, I'm not gonna defend Yeet here, that shit bangs, but that is exactly what these parents be talking about. But like we have artists such as I'm putting y'all on, y'all don't even know about him. We have Kendrick that's always set the standard. We have Jid, and we have Denzel Curry. Those are all not mumble rappers, but parents are not gonna take the time because we have Yeet. And is it really their fault? No, because guess what? Old rap was that shit, bro. I still bumps old rap, man. But parents are not gonna take that time like they did back then, because guess what? They were kids back then. And guess what? They also had the time. Nowadays, they're working jobs, they're doing other obligations like paying mortgages and, you know, feeding us, to where the point that they don't want to find something new because that's not in their responsibilities. That's not what they have time for. They don't really have time for the extra leisure of going out like we do. And this is tying back to the internet point. Because of the internet and because of how literate we are on the internet, we can almost multitask and find new things at a moment's whim when we want to. I can get out of work, get home in 15 minutes and find 3 new things I'm interested in, all off of one keyword. That is the power of our generation's internet literacy, and I kind of dig it. I like it. Look, we're different. Our parents are different. They think it's a phase. It's not a phase. This is just how we are. We're kind of cracked, bro. But that's the end of this rant, man. If you enjoyed, leave a like on the video. It helps your boy out in the algorithm so everybody can see your boy Bass Dom. Yes, sir, man. Leave a comment. Tell me your thoughts about this. Have you had conversations with parents or just an older generation about things and they just weren't understanding you? Trust me, I get it. I was in that position that you were. And subscribe, man. Look, we are growing. I believe we're at like 730 last time I checked. I appreciate y'all every day. And look, I told you we're growing. It's about to come.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
But yeah, man, it's been Bass Dom, people. Deuces.